Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Well, I think Nolan Wells and what happened to him and his unaliving has really caught a lot of people's attention. And a lot of folks are now saying, you know what? I think it's time for me to get moving and just leave all of this friendship stuff with them behind. So, white people are noticing how our people are just now walking away from the friendships they had with them. It's kind of hard to ignore this one melanated brother sitting on a boat with five white teens, and it just stood out. I think it's one of the first things you notice when you look. It's like, okay, y'all don't have any melanated people around, just one. So where they went, y'all, when I look at that, it's not even a tree on the land. It's like kind of in the middle of the ocean. And it looks almost like, how you have out there in ocean some things that are not quite an island, but it's like a sand barge just out there in the middle of the ocean. There's really nothing on it, no trees, nothing like that. So, anyway, a lot of people are talking about this case. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of things online, of course, they're saying that's not true. But I think once the autopsy comes out and everybody really knows what happened to him, yeah, I think that's going to might cause another split in people just getting away from each other. So, I'm going to let you see what this young white, I don't know if she's a teenager or not, she could be, and what she wrote about how Nolan's death, we could have come together and all this. You know, nobody's going to come together. You know what you're asking us to do. Every time one of us get unalive, we need to come together and fight racism. First of all, it is not our responsibility to fight racism because we didn't start it. Y'all started that mess, so it's up to you to fix it. That's not somebody else's responsibility. So, no, I don't think that we need to come together with them over something they created and threw out here in the world, and it's now impacting everyone. No, that's your problem. So, let me share my screen. Please give me a one if you can see my screen. Thank you.
Watch this video. Let's talk about it.
Okay. So this white woman, she has on the screen, hate to see black people completely drop their white friends because of the Nolan Wells situation, when it should be brought us as a society together to fight racism, but instead it's created more divide. Well, first of all, we were never united. We were never together on anything. And I think that showed for damn near 400 years. We are not together. We are not as one. We have never been as one. All right. And that is actually not our fault at all. You know, we have not had any control up in the society, but y'all have had plenty of control. And you didn't make no attempt to come together with us to fight anything, racism or anything for that matter. So I don't know why she is addressing us like this. This is what you should be saying to your people. You know, your people should be coming together to do something about racism. After all, you're the ones that started this mess. That's not our responsibility. So let's go on.
I'm Dr. Michael H. Ford, and let's talk about what you just saw. She says she hates to see black people drop their white friends over the Nolan Wells situation. That it should have brought us together to fight racism. That instead, it created more divide. I want to address every single part of that. Nolan Xavier Wells, 18 years old. He went to Horn Island on July 4th with a group of friends. He never came home. His body was found 2 days later. His cause of death has not yet been confirmed. The investigation is still active. His family is still asking for answers. That is the situation she referenced. She did not mention his family. She did not acknowledge the unanswered questions surrounding his death. A young man's cause of death is unconfirmed. And the conversation she chose to have is about white friendships. Then came the unity argument. She acknowledged racism exists and then centered the conversation not on fighting it, but on protecting white friendships. Those are not the same thing. Unity built on unaddressed grief is avoidance. And then the divide. The Oxford Dictionary defines tone policing as the practice of criticizing the emotional manner in which a point of view is expressed, rather than addressing the substance of the point itself. That is exactly what her video does. The divide she is describing did not begin when black people pulled away. His passing, or the circumstances surrounding it, did not create the distance. The divide was already there. The passing of Nolan Wells did not create it. It just made it more impossible to ignore. And if the goal is real unity, it does not begin with asking black people to protect white friendships. It begins with sitting with discomfort instead of asking others to manage it for you. It begins with centering the grieving before centering the friendship. It begins with demanding answers before demanding peace. And it begins with understanding that you cannot build unity on top of unaddressed pain. Healing starts with Nolan. Follow for more.
It says, hate to see black people completely drop their white friends because of the Nolan Wells situation when it should have brought us to get us as a society together to fight racism, but instead it just created more divide. Just like it's pure ignorance to the pattern of what's been happening to people of color when they happen to be the only one in a group of white people. Like, how is that supposed to bring us together? Baby, you say something then. Why the fuck are you talking about the black people? Talk about Nolan Wells. Why are you talking about the black people distancing from white people? How could they not? How could we not? After all the fucking time and shit that we dealt with y'all, the comments of racism, the acts of racism, this is not new. Are you dumb? I am so tired of holding people's hand and being like, oh, so this is why we do. No, bitch, we have talked about it so many times. I think it's blatant ignorance at this point, and you're choosing not to hear us. I'm sorry. You can go look at so many fucking videos and see why. Have you asked yourself why we're distancing? Why? Have you asked? Because it seems like you're just being dumb. I hate dumb bitches that just make statement and don't think. You don't think, do you? You fucking dumb cunt. That shit pisses me off. And I don't give a fuck at this point because it's like y'all be acting dumb as fuck. Dumb as fuck and expect us to have the patience to walk you through this shit. I'm done. I'm fed up. I'm drained. It's sad. This is blatant racism. Fucking fucked up government. Fucked up system. They gotta hire a private investigator to even get shit. Are you serious? Do you not see the problem? And then there's so many fucking, mind you, like there's so many cases that have been people of color hung by a tree, rolled to suicide when you know damn well that's just not a fucking suicide in a sundown town. Shut the fuck up. It's shit like that. Like y'all bitches are fucking ditzy and dumb. Y'all really don't want to stand and fight. Like it's so obvious. Rest in peace to Nolan Wells, and I pray all the support to his family and all love to his family. They get the justice that they deserve. I pray that all these other cases of people of color get the justice they deserve. I pray that what's his name, Lorenzo, the ICE case that just happened right now, who he was shot, father of 3, get his justice as well. Like there's so much shit going on, and like y'all are just acting like ain't shit happening. It's sad. It's just sad.
Have you guys seen this video? Because everyone in the comments is absolutely destroying her, like absolutely annihilating her. She says, I hate seeing Black people completely drop their white friends because of the Nolan Wells situation, when it should have brought us as a society together to fight racism, but instead it just created more divide. Now, like I said, everyone is absolutely ripping her a new a-hole, and honestly, valid, I do get it. We're like undermining the whole thing by calling it a situation as if a young boy didn't brutally lose his life is a choice, not to mention putting the onus on Black people to bring everybody together as if Black people aren't freaking terrified right now. Again, a choice to make. However, I want to use this as an opportunity to educate and not berate, because I don't think more division at a time like now is very productive. When tragedies like this happen, where a Black person loses their life, most likely to racial connotations, we need white allies to outwardly stand up and condemn it with their full chest, to outwardly condemn what happened to Nolan. Not because, you know, Black people aren't outwardly saying it already, but because unfortunately, in this world that we live in, the mainstream media, people in general, institutions only give a damn when the majority of people, especially white people, when it's obvious that they genuinely care about that thing as well. Unfortunately, Black tears, Black pain, Black struggle has been so unbelievably desensitized in the media. So it's all the more important when people from other races, especially white people, are showcasing that they care as much as we do about that said thing, about that said tragedy. And that being said, you can't be putting the onus on Black people for not being all kumbaya right now, when, like I said, many Black people are quite frankly terrified right now. It's never been more terrifying in modern times to be a Black person. But unfortunately, that was not what was communicated in this video. Because like I said, let's be honest, if the roles were reversed, and instead of with Nolan Wells, if Nolan Wells was a white boy in a Black friendship group and they all went away and only the Black friends came back, we all already know what would be happening right now.
Oh my gosh, you poor thing. Are you okay? It is so absolutely, utterly insane how the weight of white violence against the Black community has somehow been placed upon the shoulders of said Black community. It should have brought us closer together? Oh, you silly Black people. I mean, I get it. You continue to die at the hands of white people. I know they keep finding you hanging from trees, but really? You don't want to be our friends anymore? That's just taking things much too far, Black community. And I am so sick of you all saying, don't let this divide us. When the fuck were we ever united? You cannot divide that which was never a whole. Let me just toss this in there. It could never be one of my children, because everybody involved is going to be mourning as hard as me, if not harder.
Dear white people, Black people are not safe in your presence. And before all of you idiot and anonymous trolls get in my comments talking about, not all white people are bad, let me stop you right the fuck there. My parents taught me from a very young age to treat everyone with kindness, dignity, and respect, regardless of what they look like. But being from Detroit, they also taught me about the challenges that I could potentially face as a Black man growing up in America. I grew up with the understanding that most of us have the capacity to do good, including white people. However, white people, when they do wrong, also have the capacity to get away with it because of their privilege. So when I was reading the news about Nolan Wells' disappearance this morning, it immediately redirected my mind to all the lessons my parents taught me from when I was young. It would really be fucked up of me to say, blame the parents, because I've seen enough of that bullshit online already. And his family's already been through enough. They know that their son is gone and isn't coming back home. But I do think that this story offers a cautionary tale to other parents raising Black children, to educate them on the importance of discerning who their friends are, and to always be intentional about being in spaces where people have your best interests. And unfortunately, in a world that safeguards them from consequences of their own evil actions, that safety doesn't tend to be found in white people. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
But imagine how tired we are. Imagine how tired we are of it.
Yeah, she ain't never lie. We are tired of it. And that's why people are now walking away. Because let's face it, when these things go down, it'll be a lot of white people around. And y'all will just watch what's going down. And where were the good white people to stop this from happening? But every time we get angry about something, the first thing you want, well, the good white people. How come the good white people never show up? They never show up when these things are happening. You know, just like Tamla, when she went to that sleepover, look at all them white women that were sitting around her on that couch, right? But when she went over the balcony, where were all the good white people and those women that were supposed to be her friend? You know, it seems like it can be 100 white people around and something will happen to one of our people and nobody flinches. But then when we get to talking about it out of anger, oh, well, you know, the good white people, the good white people. Well, at this point, good white people are absolutely useless. What good white people are useless? That's the way I see it. You're of no use. So, anyway, y'all, this is probably going to continue to happen, these divides, as the case move along. And I think it's really going to hit the fan when the autopsies from the family in the state of Mississippi comes out. I think that's going to really drive an even bigger wedge in between. And man, and don't let that grand jury be all white. Man, I'm telling you, if that grand jury is all white, it's going to be many of our folks be completely done with y'all, for real. So anyway, y'all, this is my final live for today. So I thank you all for being here. Thank you for your support. And, you know, be on the lookout for my upcoming videos. And I just want you to know that you can tell when we're at the end, when our people are now willing to separate from other groups, when we did not see this happen before, but we certainly are seeing it happen now. And that's a beautiful thing. Don't forget to pick up your hair products. Shalom, family.